Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. It is a Monday morning. We're just about to get into dinner. I thought I'd do a very quick video, show you what's been going on here at the car pitch, what's been happening, what's been ready, what we've got ready to go out on sale, and what's also been completed as well, including the Ford Ka as well. So let's have a quick look at that first and see what state she's in. There she is, Ford Ka, done, on sale. Signs, stickers in the window, ready to roll. So, those of you who haven't watched before, you can check out the video when we bought it here in the link description. So basically, the background test, we won this at auction. We bought this in a pack of 4 cars, and this was really just something I thought I'd have a little gamble with. Didn't give a lot for it. It cost about £484, I remember rightly, out the door with all the fees. So it wasn't a particularly dear car, but the headline for this one, it's only done 19,000 miles. Now, it was a little bit shabby when we picked it up. For 19,000 miles, it wasn't the best of nick, if I'm honest with you. You would expect it to have been in better condition. The bumpers were all faded. The paintwork was a bit dull. We had damage here as well, which is, you can see in this picture, which has now been rectified. We had all the paint done on this quarter. And not only that, we've had to have it blended as well into the door. We have got a bit of dealer's mist on it today, which makes it look even better, but actually it has come up really well. I've had the entire car buffed up and then paint matched into the door, because when you just paint that area down there, you've got to remember, red, it fades. So then time you've actually blended it, if you don't blend it properly, you end up sticking out like a sore thumb. So we had it painted and then decided to have it more blended even further into the door and round, because it just stuck out a little bit too much. So the paint man did us proud there as always, and rectified that for us. But it's come up absolutely stunning. It was never rotten round here. Usually these rot like hell, these Kas. It actually wasn't rotten, this one. It's never been done. We've had this underneath as well, on the air, which I'll talk more about in a second, and because there was no rot in there either. So it was original, which is good, because them I used to buy over the years with rotten fuel caps. That's one of the main bugbearers for these Kas. Bumpers, they were faded as well. They were in like a horrible grey. Had a few suggestions what to do with it. To be honest with you, they had a few little marks on them, like for instance there's one down here, little tiny scrapes. There's not really much you could do with them, so I just decided just to keep it simple. Basically just got the old heat gun on them. Basically use a heat gun, get them nice and close. You'll get all the sort of the oils, if you like, out of the bumper, the plastic, brings them all to the surface, and and they come up quite nice. And as you say, it's come up really well. And then we've just used a normal silicone over them as well, just a bit of back to black, and they come up pretty decent. They could have gone a bit further with it. Some people suggested some dyes and stuff you can use on them, which will make it come up really well. But to be fair, for what we're asking for it, I mean, they've really transformed the car. Just using a little bit of elbow grease, some silicone, and a bit of a heat gun, which is great news. Inside as well has been valeted. It's come up nice and clean. Oh, it smells beautiful in here, like a tropical paradise. They come up really well. Seat's been done. Plastic's all nice and clean. Just a nice old thing. We had the paint man buff it all over as well. I'm glad we did, because it just brought all the car up lovely, all nice and matched in. There was a few tiny little scratches. This was quite scratched. This was like little light scratches from this quarter. I mean, to be fair, most of them now have gone. You can barely see them. I mean, it's so faint. There's just some very, very minor imperfections there, but we're talking, we're being picky now, let's be fair. I mean, to be fair, and also we have priced it sensibly. I would say this is not a mint Ka. I won't put it in that category, because like I said, we have got a few little marks on it. It's as Ka's goes, it's probably an 8 out of 10er. If you're going to say for a 19,000 miler, it's probably more like a 7 out of 10. It's not mint. It never was going to be mint. It was just about getting it presentable. It drives like the day it was new, which is good. Mechanically, it's sound, and then really it was just about improving it. Like I say, we're never going to get it perfect, but just make it look a lot better than it originally did look. We've redone the Schultz lines as well. Someone had been prepared these once. It had a plate down this side, and actually done a very good plate job. But actually, someone's done that before, cut the sill out properly and put a piece in, and then they've re-Schultzed it this side. So we just had that matched in on the opposite side, redid both sides, and we actually did also underseal the entire car. So you can see there's done a line on it. Kas do suffer with scabby sills, so it's always good just to get a little bit of protection on there. Underneath, it actually wasn't too bad. It's had some bits done to it, some recent parts on it, and condition wise it was actually pretty decent as well, as you can see in this short clip. Right, Ka up in the air. As you can see, she's absolutely spanking. Floor's quite good. They usually go on the seams here. They usually also rot in the inner parts of the chassis legs here. You still see the original Schultz still on it, which is good. Tank's got a little bit of surface rust on top, but generally very clean. You still see the residue on it. Clean tank, so it's quite solid up here. I mean, you've got a little bit of flaking going on, but not too bad. They usually rot like hell under here as well, and that's all good. That's not too bad. Just wants hitting now. There's a bit of Schultz, just now's the time really. It's just starting to peel off there. So get the old wire brush on it, just give it a quick brushing over, and then hit it with a thick Schultz. They also go here on these subframe mounting points. These are rotten, usually on these. That's all right. Still got original paint on it, so that's good. Pretty solid, really. So as you can see, it was pretty decent underneath. Since then, obviously, we've also had it Schultz, as you can see in this clip here. So we hit the whole thing with the whole gun, just put a bit of protection under the back arches and the sills and floor pan. Basically all the main bits you want covering on a KA. Just really give it a bit of longevity going forward. There's no reason why that now can't get 4 or 5 years out of that car, because with 19 FAW on, it's mechanically sound, it drives perfect. So it's only really the rust you've got to contend with. So I thought best just hit it, it'll tidy it up, just makes it look smarter, and obviously try and prolong its life for as long as possible. So like I said, that's gone on sale now. £1,650 is where we've got placed it at. It's like I say, it's low mileage, 19 FAW, one owner car as well, and it is one owner from brand new. So basically with the purchase price of the car, the paint, and then obviously we had a service kit for it, about to put a suspension arm on it, a few little bits and bobs. It's come in at about 850 quid. So really pleased with that. We've got a really smart car for the money. And like I said, with that low mileage on one owner, it should be flying out the door. So we'll see how we get on with that. I'll be surprised if that sticks around very long at 1650. Look, you could get slightly more for it maybe, but not much more. I did have a look on Auto Trader. There's a couple flown around the £2 mark, but like I said, this one's not mint. I'm not saying it's scruffy, it's not. It's in really good condition for a KA, but comparing it to other 20,000 mile ones out there, which are sort of around the £2 mark, they just look a little bit more cleaner than this one. So I've priced it sensibly, as I've got enough margin in it. I'm not being greedy. Don't want to start putting silly prices on a car like that. At the end of the day, it is a 20-year-old KA. Like I said, it's just a very nice, presentable thing. It is what it is, and it's not something we've got to worry about going out. We've smartened it up, and that's the main thing. We get a little bit of profit out of it and move on. So that's the KA covered. Let's have a look what else we've been going on here at the car pitch. Well, a little Suzuki. Let's just come in. A little Suzuki SX4. We bought this recently from auction. I've got it back and turned it around. Not much to do on this one really. We had to put a battery on it. Needed the battery. I'll show you quickly inside. It's a 1.6 petrol. It's done 90,000 miles. It's the first one I've had on the pitch, one of these. Quite popular. We've had a little bit of interest on it already. I've just put it up on the advertising boards on our group page, and we've had a few people walk on asking about it. Sorry about the noise today, guys. The noise is horrendous traffic. But it's had a quick clean. I've not taken it to the valeters yet. It's just we've just basically plonked it on sale as it is. To be honest with you, it isn't that bad. So we'll get it finally valeted probably in the week. But for now, it's just about getting it up for sale and pictured now, so we can get it started. It doesn't need a lot, this, to be honest. I've had a quick nose underneath it. It's got 4 decent Michelin tyres on it, so someone's shown a bit of love there. It's pretty sound underneath. There's not really much we need to do to that. The only thing I've picked up on is the battery, which was sorted, and it does need a door motor on the driver's side. So all the doors locked by the drivers, which we've now sorted. I've ordered a new door motor for that. Well, a used one, not a new one. But a new one probably cost you about 500 quid. But I've got a used one coming off eBay, 40 quid. It's off a Fiat, I can never pronounce the other version of it. Fiat Sidisi, is it? I'll put the name down here. But basically the Fiat, whatever that is, Sidisi I'll call it, and the SX4 are the same car. But the Suzuki version was a lot more popular. So anyway, that's up for sale. I got that up at, I think it's £21.95, which is about right really compared to others in the area. I've got Chicken on Auto Trader as a reference. It's a nice thing in grey. I think we'll sell that. And I said, they're usually good news, these SX4s. I quite like Suzuki's. Let's have a little dive into Part X corner, see what's going on here. We've got some Part X's in here, some sold cars that need sorting, and also just some stuff that's basically going to go on sale at some point in the near future when we get round to them. For project cars, if you like. So, little Yaris, that was in the corner over there, that's a sold car. That was where the one of the previous occupiers, one of his vehicles, which is going out. It's going to be waiting on some bits for that. The yellow Fiat, don't talk to me about that. It needs to go to the, get rid of that one. Did try and get this out around the trade, see if anyone wanted it, but unfortunately no one's brave enough because it needs a gearbox. So I'm either going to come across a gearbox and put one in at some point, or might just have to send it to auction, maybe, I don't know, but that depresses me. We don't look at that one anymore. What else have we got here? A couple of these, most of these are just part exchanges, to be honest with you, except for this Hyundai. We've seen this on the channel before, albeit quite a long time ago. This needs a chain. I'm going to dig this out this week. It needs a timing chain on it and a wheel bearing. ABS sensors, well, gone. Basically, the ABS ring internally is broke down, so I need to put an ABS hub on that, or wheel bearing, which is all contained unit, to get that light out on it, and then get a chain kit on it. But I need to get that sorted because, in fairness, it's a Hyundai i20. I think it's done about 100,000, or no, it's a bit less than that. I think it's done 90. Yeah, 90,000, I think that's done. And yeah, we need to sort that, because it's the good news then, i20s, they're popular. We've had a couple on the pitch since we've been here, and they've all sold. So it just needs digging out, cleaning up, getting the chain done, get it validated, get it on sale on a template. Probably that 22.95 car, 23.95 car, once it's cleaned up. It's stuff like that we need to be getting out now and getting processed, really. What else we got in here? Oh God, in this deaf corner. Mondeo, we need to look at that. We've got an Astra, we need to put some pulleys on and stuff on that one. That's got noisy dephaser pulleys, we need to get that sorted. We've got a 107 that I need to have a look at, which is a little bit scruffy, but it might still make a car. Probably a very cheapy one, probably going to be like a 1,500 quidder, somewhere around there, a bit up on the miles. But the good news, and if it's a 107, if you can get a ticket on it, get it out as a cheapie, someone will want it, because they're just brilliant news. Although, like I said, probably not the best one we've ever had on here by a long way. Peugeot, I need to have a look at that. I bought that very cheap off a friend of mine. Looks a bit scruffy, but on paper, it's not too bad. It's 11 plate, 207 SW, or station wagon, 1.6 diesel. Not too bad on the miles, I remember rightly. I don't think it was high. I can't remember, about 70,000. 83, there we go, wasn't a million miles off. Definitely wants a valet. It's disgusting inside, but we need to get that in the workshop and have a look at it. It's got a steering fault at the moment, so it's basically got heavy steering, and definitely wants a set of wheel trims. Cars look awful without wheel trims. It's quite, but yeah, we need to get that in. But it's probably going to need a steering module or rack motor on it. They're all on these, quite common on the 207s for going wrong. I've never come across one, although I have heard of this problem. It was my first one, really, we're going to deal with. So we'll see how we get on with that. That will probably make a good car. You look at it now and think, are you sure? But honestly, these are good news, these 207 station wagons. I'm not a big Peugeot lover, to be honest, but the diesel station wagons are good news. So we can get the steering fixed on that, get it valeted, get a set of wheel trims orders, a decent set of wheel trims, because they are awful, them steel whims. Nice if we're getting a set of alloys for it, but I think we might just be opening a can of worms up trying to chase a set of alloys. We might just buy a decent set of new wheel trims for it, you know, proper Peugeot set, and see what she looks like. But it wasn't a dear car. I think we gave, top of my head, I think we gave about 700 quid for that, or 650 rings a bell for that Peugeot. So it's not a lot of money for what we paid for it, but it has got a big fault on my hands. We're going to have to put steering. We're going to have to put a steering, probably a rack and a motor on it. So you know, you're going to spend a few £100 there getting that organised as well, and probably God knows what else it needs. Another recent purchase we picked up today. A Seat Ibiza. This is an old shape Seat Ibiza. So this shape ran from 2002. Model went up to 2008. So this is the last of this shape. I mean, these are basically just based on Polos underneath. That's all they are. I like Ibizas. I think they're a really decent car. They sell really well. I just think the good news. Now, don't get me wrong. It'd be better if it was a later shape than this one, but I ain't complaining. We've got this today. It's done it's a 1.4 petrol. It's a Ibiza Sport Rider. Let's have a look at the mileage. I think it's just on 100,000 or just over. 105,000. Wants a valet inside, but it's not too bad. Interior's pretty decent. Does start, but doesn't move. Hence why it's on a recovery truck. So basically, it wants a clutch. That's what's wrong with it. We did manage to get it on the truck, because we don't have a winch on this truck currently. But basically, I think the concentric slave cylinder is basically burst on it, so we can't really engage any gears. But we managed to start it in first gear, basically just start the car up and drive off, and just drove straight on the ramp and then turned it off. So we managed to get it on the ramp, which is good. But it definitely needs a clutch. But other than that, really, it ain't too bad. It just wants to clean up. 1.4 petrol, 3-door. Going to sell. Good news that. Didn't give a lot for it. I think we just gave over 500 quid for that off the garage who we got it from. They got it in as a job, and basically the customer didn't want to go ahead with it, and then we managed to fall on our laps via a contact. It's stuff like this I don't mind buying. It's dead hard to get hold of Seats and Volkswagens vehicles, to be honest with you. They're just so popular, so you do have to pay slightly more for them, but they do sell. This, you know, this old shaped Ibiza is probably, it's a 1.4 petrol version, so it's probably going to do 17.95, somewhere around there, and it will sell without any shadow of a doubt. That will sell. Someone will buy that. It's in quite good nick, other than the fact it wants a clean. If you look past that, actually it's pretty decent. The alloys aren't horrendous. Usually these wings used to rock like crazy on these. I've had a few of these over the years where they go here, a bit like the Golfs as well. They used to have like a sponge or something in them, and then the Golfs and the Borers, and used to absorb all the water and then rot the wings out. And I'm not sure if they're the same on these, but they did used to suffer with really bad tatty wings. Couple of covers missing as well. We've got them now. They were taken off in order to basically bring it in. Someone had basically recovered it originally and brought it in and decided to take off the covers, but we got them, so we'll keep an eye on that one. We'll do an update when we fix it and let you know how we're getting on with that and go for the numbers. I think as a little cheapie that will sell all right. It looks like we've actually now got quite a bit of space. We've got big gaps appearing. It's not really because we've sold a lot of cars. We've sold a few, and but mostly we got a few out. So we had about 3 or 4 cars go out over the weekend that were previously sold. They got collected. I've sent a ruck of stuff to paint and a few bits to valet as well, so that's why we've got a bit of room. In reality, we just haven't been picking the stock up we've already bought, so we haven't really solved the problem. It looks like we've got loads of room, and we have for the next day or so, but it's only because we're waiting for stuff to turn up. I think we've got about 14 cars we need to actually bring in here, and there ain't no way we can get 14 cars in here. I'll be lucky if we can get 7 or 8 more here. So we're going to have to be a little bit ingenious with logistics going forward. We might have to move some cars around and get stuff to paint in places and just sort of get rid of them, albeit temporarily, and hopefully sell some stock. That's the name of the game. If we can get some stock shifted, that will create a bit of space for us. But I think we need to rein in the buying a little bit, because I have bought quite a lot recently. Although saying that, I'll probably still be at the auction on Thursday. Right, we've got going on in the workshop. Well, we've got the Clio in and a C1. C1 is sold, little 2995er. This was on the front, didn't really lasted about a day, this one. I think a subscriber I bought this one actually. It's going out this week. We're just getting it up in the air to give it a check over for an MOT. Waiting on some tyres to go on it, and a door check strap. That's all we need to do on that, and a service, and then that'll go out this week. We've seen this before. Like I said, little 2995er we sold. It was a category S, been repaired. It flew out, like I said. It wasn't going to hang around really, that sort of money. We always sell C1s. We could have 20 of these in stock of wood, because they're just brilliant news. Clio, this isn't a sold car. This is one we're just getting ready to put on the pitch. Coming very, very scruffy, this. Didn't pay a lot of money for it. It was about 400 quid. Off a friend of mine who's took it in. Basically someone was just didn't want it anymore, part exchange to get rid of it. And he passed it on to me. So it's 07 plate, it's a Clio camper, so it's the last of that shape Clio. They brought this shape out in 2000 and, well, the facelift of this shape, 2002, ran up to about 2008, 58 plate. It's a 1.2 petrol. Just shoved a set of trims on it because it had no trims on it. It looked a bit tatty. We're just doing a bit of work underneath, put a job card on it. What have we done to this so far? We've got gearbox mount that's just been put on. We've also put in a drive shaft on it. It's got a noisy drive shaft, so we've got a new one going on there. We've just had to put a ball joint on it because it's knackered on this side. We've had to put wheel bearings on it. We've had to put a driver's front wheel bearing on because it was howling. One of the rear wheel bearings was also gone, so we've done them. It's just a few little odds and sods. These bits sound expensive, but in reality, they're not. Wheel bearings are about 20 quid a piece. I've got a set of trims for it, whole set for about 25 quid because it didn't have any on. Drive shaft was about 58 quid. They're dead cheap to fix these. I think the gearbox mount was about 20 quid again. You know, underneath, you know, it's not too bad actually. These are not rock boxes, these Clios. People do slag off French cars, but in reality, these small little Clios are actually pretty decent. This one's all right, so it's got decent tyres on it. It just wants a little bit of TLC spending on it. So it's all right, not bad actually, to be fair. Under here, inside it wants a good valet, and then just a bit of a polish up really, and we can make it into a car. So we'll check that back out in the next video, see where we go up to with that. But as a little cheapie, it's the sort of stuff we can sell easily. I mean, we can get that sort of right again, serviced and all ready and MOT'd, and probably sell that for, again, it's probably going to be like a 17.95 sort of cheapie car. It's ideal, it's a cheap run around for someone, and they can do the miles these. I mean, I've seen these with 150, 60k up them, still going strong. So guys, I better get back to work. I've got plenty to do. So hope you enjoyed this little bit of an update video of the pitch, what's been going on, and of course the update on the KA as well. If anyone's interested in the KA, wants to buy it, you can basically get in touch with us here at the Car Pitch in Crewe. You can find us on Facebook by searching the Car Pitch, or just get yourself on Google and give us a call. Guys, thanks very much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you all in my next video.